So we're gonna go over details about eating. So in the program, I have designed a way to eat. And the reason for that is because I have done many programs when it comes to losing weight. But I only found that you have to find what works for you. If it doesn't work for you, then it just doesn't work for you. But no matter what workout program you do, if you don't do something about the way you eat, you're not going to see many results. It's going to be hard to tell if it's working. So what I designed is intermittent fasting. You might say you didn't discover that. No, I'm not saying I discovered intermittent fasting. I designed intermittent fasting to work with this program. And the way I did it is 3 different ways you can choose to eat. You can do the 8-hour window, meaning that you eat whatever you want for 8 hours. You pick whatever hours that work best for you in your schedule. But for the remaining 16 hours, you do not eat any solid food. You choose what works for you. Because if you're choosing this particular window, keep in mind you need to keep it the same. You cannot do 8 hours, then change it to 10 hours, then change it to 12 hours. It's not going to really take as much effect on your body the way your body needs to be adjusted to it. So for the other 16 hours, you will only drink water, tea. Now, what kind of tea you choose, it cannot have sugar, all right? No sugar at all. You might say, what about sweetener? Well, you can do sweetener if you choose to do a sweetener because it has no calories. So you can do sweetener. You can also do honey. Don't do a lot of honey. Just enough to just give it a little sweetening to it. Herbal tea is really good to have during the fast. And then you also have coffee. Now you might say, how can I do my coffee? If you like me, I don't like black coffee. It's hard to drink it. I have done it. I tried it. But over time, I got to a point where I didn't even want coffee anymore because I just didn't want it black. So if you like cream and you like sugar, don't do sugar in your coffee. You can do sweetener, but not sugar. Also, you have what you can do is the cream that already have like about 5 grams of sugar in it, like Coffee Mate or I think it's called Delight or something like that. You can use a little bit of that, like French vanilla or hazelnut or something like that. That's actually okay. It's not going to break your fast. It's not going to make you gain weight, okay? Then you also have protein shake. Now let's talk about protein shake. With the protein shake, you have where there's certain kind of protein shake that have too much sugar in it. If it has over 9 grams of sugar, don't drink that shake. That's not going to help. But you want some kind of protein shake that they have different kinds. Some that are just for women, then you have some are just for men, then you have those that are we call unisex. Anyone can actually drink it. So check the nutrition facts on the shake to make sure it's not too much sugar. Protein shake will help with your hunger pains. That's why I added protein shake in there. Because see, I've done intermittent fasting. I did it for 50 days straight. And it worked. When I was getting married, I wanted to lose weight and also get in shape so that way I would look great in my dress. Like, who don't want to look great in their dress? Come on now. So for 50 days straight, intermittent fasting. And which one did I do? I did the 8-hour window where I ate for 8 hours and 16 hours I did not eat any solid food. But what I did during that time, I had coffee, I had tea. Now I tried the bullet coffee. That was a mistake on my part because I started gaining weight. And I was thinking, like, I thought bullet coffee is bulletproof, whatever you call it. One when you put the coconut in there, just the coconut oil, the pure coconut oil. to give it flavor, because I was doing black coffee and I told you I don't like black coffee. I need some flavor in my coffee. And that's when I started noticing that I was picking the weight up. And before I started doing the bulletproof coffee, before I started doing the bulletproof coffee, I realized that I was losing weight. And then I picked up weight when I started doing bulletproof coffee. And that was because of the natural, the fat that's in it. It was making me thicker, and that's not what I was going for. Some people, you know, some of you guys might want to get thicker, and that's fine. Do the bulletproof coffee, it'll work. I know it worked for me. Now there's smoothies. So I want to talk about the smoothie part. If you're going to do a smoothie, make sure it is organic. You have to have natural fruits. That means raw fruits and raw vegetables, not processed fruit in a can or vegetables in a can or something like that. It must be natural, like it's fresh. You picked it or you bought it from the grocery store and it was in the vegetable produce aisle in that area, in that section. And if you do choose to get the fruit that's frozen in a bag, make sure it doesn't have sugar added with it. Check the nutrition facts. Make sure it's not processed sugar or added sugar, because it's not going to work. And then the same thing goes for the 10-hour window and the 12-hour window, where you have 10 hours of straight eating whatever you want, enjoying your food, and then you have 14 hours of the same thing from the 8-hour window of eating. That means water, tea, coffee, protein shake, or because you don't have to do all these things. You can choose whatever that floats your boat that help you during that time, but these are your options, okay? And then you have the fruit and vegetable smoothie, and as well as the 12-hour window. So let me help you out here. If you are the type of person that just feel like you're hungry all the time, do the 12-hour window. It won't hurt you as much as if you tried to do the 8-hour window of eating. Because if you do 12 hours, think about it. I'm gonna give you an example. So let's say you wake up 7 o'clock in the morning. So and you decide that you're not gonna eat breakfast, but you will eat lunch. So from 11 a.m. in the morning to 11 p.m. at night, that's 12 hours you can eat. So right at so you got 11 a.m. and you got 10:59. Right at that 11 p.m. time, you don't eat. Usually around that time, you're going to bed anyway, okay? So if you're going to bed around that time, you're going to be fasting through the night. And then when you wake up in the morning, if you're waking up at 7, you don't eat. If you're waking up at 6 in the morning, you don't eat. And sometimes, like me, I get up at, matter of fact, tomorrow morning, I'll be getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't eat. You just don't. You're still in your fasting period. Until that 11 o'clock roll around, then you eat. You keep the same time every day while you're on this program. You don't switch times. You're doing the same time. So if you're the type of person that you say, you know what, I'm going out. I like to go out on the weekends. That's what I do. And that's usually during the time when I get my alcohol drink on. You might want to switch your timing. And I'm going to show you how to switch it safely. You're going to give yourself this grace. It's called a grace period. I go out on Friday nights, Saturday nights. I take 2 nights out of the week that I get to enjoy drinking. Now remember, alcohol do have calories and it will put weight on you. So if you do too much of it, you're literally putting yourself backwards. So you have to limit how much you are drinking. And if you're doing mixed drinks with sugar, like Coke or punch, like rum punch or gin and juice, or what is the other kind of people like Long Island iced teas and all these different mixed drinks, you're putting calorie on you, which is going to be hard, and you're going to feel it the next day, especially if you are fasting. You are going to feel the effects of that drink that you had. So you want to be mindful of keeping the limit low on how much you're going to drink, but you still keep your fasting time the same. So instead of eating them hot wings that night, you have to realize that you need to eat before you go out. But if you say, okay, I really want to eat with my friends, this is not going to be fun, this is when I say you give yourself the grace. I want you to enjoy this program and not feel like it's torture, but it does call for discipline on your part. And without the discipline, you're not going to get the results that you want. But this program is really designed for you to be able to do it in the long haul, not just one time. It worked, then you go back to your old habits. That's not going to work out. So the best way to do it is to make it fit your work and your lifestyle. So the way you work and the way you play, you want this to fit. That's the reason why you're choosing the time for yourself when you're fasting. See, me, I'm a late person. I like to stay up late and then sleep my mornings away. And mainly because when I'm at home, I have the chance to really spend time with my husband, and our son is in the bed asleep. This is our time. That's when I usually do most of my snacking. I'm a snackaholic, okay? So it's like now it's time to figure out what works for me. So what I would do is that I would give myself a window where I might say, okay, well, instead of me eating at 11 o'clock, I'm going to go ahead and eat at 12 noon. And then I'm going to cut my eating off at 12 midnight. So that way I won't be eating throughout the night, and I can still do my fasting. So I just move the time, and then I keep it that way the entire time. Yeah, I'll be feeling like, man, I made a mistake. I should have just left it at 11 o'clock during those times when I feel a little extra hungry. Well, that's where the smoothie come in at. And that's where the protein shake come in at. When you feel that gut telling you, oh my God, I need something to eat, get you a protein shake or get you a smoothie. It's gonna kill those hunger pains just like that. The cravings will go away real fast. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Feel free to reach out. My phone number is 832-429-7001. That's 832-429-7001. And I'm Alayla.